Hey everybody, it's John Hope Bryant. I'm live coming to you on Monday morning here in Atlanta, talking to you about a focus that's going to be part of the Success Series, but talking to you about a topic that might be a little controversial, which is, but no one was going to tell you, so I'm going to tell you straight, which is the difference between how rich and poor people talk, how the wealthy and not so wealthy speak. And let me just start out by saying, for those of you who don't know me, I'm John Hope Bryant, Chairman and CEO and founder of Operation Hope. Hey Larry, signing in, and Brandon, good morning. By the way, I wish the candidates would start talking about this and not all this craziness that's going on in the world. Hey Trevor, Travis Trevere, who worked for me, Trevor, who works for me. His name is interesting. Travers Trevere is his name. Sandy Lewis, good morning. Perez, Audrey, good morning. So I know at least one of the candidates wants to talk about this, but can't focus on it because the other candidates keep talking about silliness. So hopefully soon they'll start talking about issues that really matter to us and then able to do something about it. But I'm founder, chairman, CEO of Operation Hope again, John Hope Bryant, chairman and CEO of Bryant Group Ventures. I'm an entrepreneur and a philanthropic investor, which means I put in a little bit of my money, the money I can of my own, and I raise money from others to help eradicate poverty, to lift people up, to give people a love, leadership, dignity, hope, aspiration in their life. We have Global Dignity Day this week. I'll do a video just on that the whole week of October 12th to the 18th. 74 countries teaching a course in dignity around the world, associated with the World Economic Forum, Crown Prince Haakon of Norway, Pekka Himanen of Finland, John Osborne, BBDO, Beatrice, and others who helped to create this vision, inspired by Klaus Schwab. That's another video, but that's tied to the work that we're doing. Operation Hope has, and I've created a number of nonprofits that are trying to have an outsized impact in the world, and that's my job as an entrepreneur, businessman, up from nothing, created this on my own, with help, yes, but on my own, a lot of hustle. I like the James Brown version of affirmative action. Open the door, I'll get it myself. Hey, Steve Lusk, good morning. Hey, Corliss Shaw, good morning from Milwaukee. Jesse Ward, good morning. Sabrina, Darren, Mark, good morning. So, we have got about 13 million plus video views so far in 6 months on this series. Thank you for that. 130,000 plus likes on the page that continues to grow, the Civil Rights Movement. Tell all your friends to join in. And the next movement will be broadcast, by the way. It's going to be in the suites, not so much in the streets. It'll be from the neck up, thinking and doing, not from the shoulders down, brawling and bruising. Not so much that, more about this. So now, and I'm an author, as many of you know, of 3 books, working on my 4th, How the Poor Can Save Capitalism, a bestseller, and Love Leadership, a bestseller. Banking on Our Future was my first book, but I did that with the publisher of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Good morning to Nicholas Smith. Just started reading autographed copy of How the Poor Can Save Capitalism, and Love Leadership was awesome. Thank you. Henry Johnson, good morning. Antonia and Santiago. Tony Taylor, Jeremy Reed, Sergey Bogle, I hope I said your name right, in the building, he says, Jackie Stewart. I like recognizing you, Charlene Wilson from New Jersey. People from all around the country, all around the world. Lester Gardner, hey Lester, used to work for us, a good guy. Edrin McNair. So let me get into this. And I'll respond to the other questions when I'm through with this video. So how the rich and the poor talk differently, and how the wealthy talk. These are different topics, by the way. You can be rich and not be wealthy, by the way. That's another topic. There's a bunch of folks running around with some money. They or may not keep it, but they have their moment, and they're able to do that because they focus on what's important, at least for a moment, on creating value. But to be wealthy is a whole other thing. You can be rich for a day, you just want to be wealthy for a lifetime. And being wealthy has nothing to do with money. I'm going to cover that extensively in this new book I'm writing, The Memo. But let me put you into my head for a minute. I'm going to tell you what nobody says. I'm going to tell you what some people of wealth think, but they don't say. You go into a barbershop in the neighborhood I grew up in, Compton, California, South Central LA, the hood, all right, or wherever. Probably the case is still in any poor or struggling neighborhood. And people talk about other people. That's what they talk about. They talk about the drama. They talk about their cousin Boo Boo. They talk about mostly celebrities and hip hop stars and who's doing what to whom and girl did you hear and brother did you know? It's a lot of talk about other people. It's drama and it's what do they call that? It's gossip. People with wealth talk about what they're going to do in the same barbershop chair. They may not even be talking to their barber. They may be thinking, using that time to think, to reflect. But my barber, Keith, who's a great, Brian Keith, great guy, I haven't come to the house because I just don't want to deal with all of the environmentals in the barbershop. By the way, this is different. If you're in the broadcast industry, this rule is different. If you are a blogger, if you're a social commentator, if you're a comedian for a living, if you're a celebrity, if you're in the media, the arts, you need all these environmentals around you. You need to take in what's going on around you because that becomes part of your content for the product that you're selling. You understand what I'm saying? And make sure you understand we're tracking here that if it is your business to be a social commentator, hey, Hope, Jamie, join in, Martin, Copeland, Sharice Wood. Okay, you understand what I'm saying. Gary joining in from Gary Mickle, I believe is his name. So if you're a social commentator, great. But if it is not your business to comment on the world, you are wasting valuable time and precious energy and focusing on things that give you no value whatsoever. So once again, I'm going to summarize this. If you're in the barber chair, in any of our neighborhoods, the neighborhood I grew up, people talk about 90% of what they talk about is somebody else, something else, what somebody else is doing. Hey, Kia Cooper. But if you're in my chair, sitting at my house, Keith and I are talking about what we're doing. I'm talking about his business, which is a great business idea he's got for his barbershop and associated business. We're talking about his family, talking about his girls. Hey, Ken Johnson, good morning. Talking about Sheila Sanders, good morning. Talking about his family, his wife, his beautiful kids. He's showing me videos about what his kids are doing. I'm talking to him about my business, and I'm reviewing parts of my book with him, getting his advice and feedback. We're talking about what we're doing, not what Kim Kardashian is doing, not what some celebrity is doing. That celebrity's not paying you. They're not making your mortgage. They're not paying your car note. That drama is not doing anything for you. You got to get a software upgrade on your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Poverty starts here. There's a difference between being broke and being poor. I keep saying this, but I'm going to say it again. To be broke is economic. To be poor is a disabling frame of mind, a depressed condition of your spirit. You must vow never to be poor again. Go pull up off the internet the Hope Doctrine on Poverty from Operation Hope. Go to operationhope.org. Get free services, by the way, but go pull off the Hope Doctrine on Poverty off the internet and put it on your wall. Print it out and put it on your wall. It is the new definition of poverty. It has nothing to do with money. It is the new definition of poverty. It has nothing to do with money. So rich people and poor people, or wealthy and not so, talk differently. Talk about different things. I'm going to repeat it. I may do this as a quote. The wealthy talk about what they're going to do, what they're about, what they're feeling, where they're going. Poor people talk about other people, maybe because they're depressed, maybe because they feel that they don't have anything of value in their life, maybe because the distraction is the only way that gives them joy because it relieves them of the stress, the drama, the depression of talking about themselves. I don't know, but that's how all these celebrity magazines survive. That's how all these celebrity shows survive. By the way, all good, by the way. They need an audience, and they're going to get a global audience. They're going to continue to they're getting hundreds of millions. In some cases, a couple billion people around the world are obsessed with celebrity and other people's lives. I don't know why. It's not the way I think. It's not the way I'm wired. But I respect the fact, and by the way, I'm curious. I read People magazine every now and then. I go to TMZ every now and then once I finish my business, at the end of the night, and I want to see what's going on in the world. If nothing else, just so I can understand what people are dealing with so I can address it. I watch Hip Hop Atlanta once a year so my brain cells don't collapse by watching it more than 30 minutes, because I want to know what the heck's going on. But there are people obsessed with these shows, obsessed with drama. And if you got 24 hours in a day, you got to sleep. I sleep 6 hours a day. Any less than that, I'm cranky and ineffective. Any more than that, and I'm lethargic. Unless it's a Saturday and I've been going for 3 weeks straight and I need to sleep for 8 or 10 hours. But typically I sleep for 6 hours and I time it. And I'm constantly trying to fit more time. If you ask me, do I want more time or more money? Here's what poor people would say. I want more money. Rich people would say, give me more time, I'll make more money. Did you get that? Poor people would say, just give me more money. It's all about the Benjamins. It's not all about the Benjamins, by the way. That's wrong. That's going to be rich. You're going to be broke. Quincy Jones told me 2 things that I want to share with you. It's one of my mentors. He said, number one, that's how Natasha and I met, by the way, Quincy Jones. So he said, number one, he said that if you think you're in the music business and you don't own any publishing rights or writing properties or some kind of rights in the music business, you're not actually in the music business. You're just a temporary performer. Boom, right? So this whole industry, the celebrity industry, has a marketplace. It will continue infinitum. This whole thing about getting paid, though, is wrong. All the things about look at my car, look at these B's and H's, look at how much money, all the Benjamins, all that's wrong. Quincy Jones says when he goes in the studio, he's looking for one thing: fall in love with the music. If you fall in love with the music and you've got a talent and a feel for what people want, and if you love it, other people will love it, and that's what made Thriller off the chain. That's what made Off the Wall off the chain. That's what made Quincy Jones the largest recipient of Grammy nominations in the history of this country, of the world. That's what made Quincy Jones a living icon and extraordinarily wealthy. Is because he understood it was music and business, the music business. But he also understood in the middle of that you had to have a passion. And the passion has to come before the money. The passion has to come before the money. If you're not passionate about it, you're going to be crappy at it. Ultimately, it will not last because it's not authentic. So he would always go into a room, get the best musicians, the best music, the best band, the best equipment and that he could afford. Sit there, cock his head at the piano, meditate for just a moment, settle his soul like meditation in music room, and then leave the door cracked open just a little bit. As he said, give room for God to walk in. To give room for God to walk in. To help him out, to create magic. So wealthy people see the world differently. They see it through possibilities, a lens of what can be done, but they focus on what they're doing. You have a certain number of hours in the day. If you're spending 4 hours a day watching TV, watching some crazy show, that time's gone. You're spending another 2 hours a day on social media watching crazy videos, things not educational like this, things that don't uplift your soul. That time's gone. Somebody's robbed you of that time. You're spending another 2 hours a day arguing with your husband or your mate or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. That time's gone. Now you're late for work, or maybe you were texting in the car, watching this crazy stuff in the car. Now you get into an accident or you get a ticket. Well, now you've been taxed because of this craziness and this drama. Then you get into an argument with somebody for 2 hours in the day over something that's not even your business. Arguing over Kanye West. Why in the heck would you do that? Arguing over some celebrity that you have no stock in, that you don't own any of them, they don't own any of you, you don't own any of their stock, you're not part of their royalty rates, you're not getting any money on the plays of their music on the radio, you're not getting any royalties from their work on TV. God forsake, what the heck are you doing arguing over some nutcase person who's probably was on drugs when they did whatever it is you're talking about, and that's not even your business. It won't help you one little bit. But we get in these, I tell people, it's not what you call me, it's what I answer to that's important. Never answer out of your name. And to argue with a fool proves there are two. That's why self-esteem and confidence is so important. That's why the Hope Doctrine on poverty starts with half of success and half of failure is self-esteem and confidence. If you don't know who you are by 9 in the morning, by dinner time, somebody's going to tell you. Sir Jay Boogie says, I needed to hear this morning. Thank you. Compton's in the house. Long Beach is with you. Craig Bucknor laughed out loud. Getting a dime. Sharice Woods getting a dime. Actually, when you do this drama, we're actually stepping over a dollar to pick up a dime. Stepping over a dollar to pick up a dime. I don't understand bored, by the way. I don't get it. I don't understand people who say I'm bored or I don't know what to do with my time. My God, I would. Can I borrow some of your time? Can I buy some of your time? If you could find a way to transfer some of your time to me, it's my most precious asset. So I'm gonna do a whole video on focus. I'm gonna do one on focus because that's a really valuable asset that you own, that you don't have to pay for, that God already gave you, that can help you slow down the world, create more time, create more dimes, create more potential, which creates more opportunity, which then creates more wealth for you. Slow your time up by focusing. Yesterday's a promise. Yesterday's a memory. It doesn't exist. Tomorrow's a promise hasn't happened. This is from the book Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now, it's called. Yesterday's a memory, doesn't exist. Tomorrow's a promise, doesn't happen. That's why they call the present a gift. All you have is this present moment. What do we spend our time worrying about? Worrying about tomorrow and obsessing about yesterday, which is why you're not present, which is why you're miserable. And so I want you to get a new mindset. I want you to get a software upgrade on your life. And anybody going on any of these videos and saying, "Oh, that." I'm going to say it, by the way, that coon, that sellout, whatever. By the way, you ain't hurting me, okay? But second of all, you've just identified yourself. You've just self-identified yourself because anybody who's successful and positive spends no time talking about other people negatively. Think about it. Anybody who's successful, look at the debate last night. The real person who had decorum wasn't fighting back. They said, look, if you want to hit my fist with your face, opponent, knock yourself out. I'm not engaging in this drama. I'm going to move forward on what's important. Anybody who's successful, pick the person. They don't spend any of their time obsessing about somebody else, talking about somebody else, being negative. They spend their time focusing on their vision. If they say anything, it's positive. You can't say something good, don't say anything at all. Anybody playing on somebody else doesn't love themselves. Anybody hating somebody else doesn't love themselves. Anybody hating on somebody else does not love themselves. They don't even know who they are. You're one of my greatest mentors, Leslie Frazier. Thank you, love. Back to you. Stephanie Rivers from Florida. Okay, so I have broken down today success talk from the context of the barbershop or the beauty salon. When you go to the barbershop this week, I want you to listen. When you go to the beauty salon this week, ladies, I want you to listen. When you go to the nail salon this week, I want you to listen. I want you to listen to what the conversation is and tell me if I'm wrong or right. And then I want you to go around to successful people and positively eavesdrop. Don't do this in a negative way, but go to dinner, go to a nice restaurant someplace, buy some coffee, just sit there and listen to the environmental conversation. They're talking about their family, they're talking about their business, they're talking about payroll, they're talking about a new innovation, they're talking about a new business idea, they're talking about going to travel somewhere. Listen to what people are saying and how those conversations are radically different, irrespective of race. Let me say that. I shouldn't have to say it, but I'm going to say it. It's irrespective of race. Hey, Tiffany Greer of Memphis. Hey, Paul McNeil. Lots of love from Canada, my brother. This inspired me today. Polo Catalano said. Mark Murray, love you, bro. Love you back. Dondi Black just joined, who did great work at First Tennessee. I hope this was helpful today in helping you to frame out your life and creating the environment that you want for your life and in your life. Because if you hang around 9 broke people, I keep saying, you'll be the 10th. I'm out, unbought, unbossed, unbiased, non-partisan. I'm going to do a whole piece on my politics, which is not from the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, but the Get It Done Party. I'm going to do a whole piece on the Get It Done Party. Unbought, unbiased, civil rights, coming to you straight and no chaser with the Straight Talk Civil Rights series, 13 million plus viewers and growing from here and around the world for Operation Hope, Global Dignity, Hope Coalition America, Hope Corps, Hope Office of Innovation, Research and Assessment, Hope Banking on Our Future, Hope Business in the Box Academies, Hope Inside Certified Plus, Hope Entrepreneurship and Small Business Training Program, Hope 700 Credit Score Communities program. What did I miss? Hope Coalition America is all these Hope Internship America, which we're launching soon. Then you have the Civil Rights Movement, my Bryant Group Motorsports Academy, which is coming with Henry Ford III, and Bryant Group Ventures, which is my private business, and all of the things that I'm doing to try to inspire a new world and a new way to live in a fear-based world. And part of what you're seeing today is that our leaders are not focusing on what they're for, they're focusing on what they are against, our so-called leaders. And they're expert at what they're against. They're trying to convince you to be against something. That's a dead end. That won't lead anywhere. That's why you're depressed. That's why the world is disgusted with what's going on right now with what they're seeing on TV. That's why you're not inspired, because God made you from light. He made you for good. That darkness has no definition except for light. That badness has failed goodness. That even the devil, the punk, is a fallen angel. Translation, even God gives him permission to exist, just to make life interesting. Because you can't grow without legitimate suffering. So we need to change our conversation and change our prism on life. Zanita Jackson, a lot of the things I talked about, I had ignored. You got to explain it to me a little bit, Zanita, in your next comment. Sandy Lewis, I'm on your team. Well, I'm on yours. In poverty. That's right, Jamie Nelson. All right, love you. Shirley Brown, I'm with you too. This has been a great session this morning. Hope you enjoyed it. This is the Civil Rights Series. Go to operationhope.org. Sign up to be a volunteer. Go to globaldignity.org. Sign up to teach a course in dignity the month of October to help us to send a message of a new way to lead in a fear-based world, in this world. Be an expert in what you're for, not what you're against. Don't just spend your time and waste your day with drama and other people's problems, all the stuff that's going to depress you and hang around people that's going to bring you down. Focus on what's important and execute on your mission in your life, because this is not a dress rehearsal you only get one time, and this is it. Boom. Love you much. I'm out. Have a great day. No, make a great day.